Hi Tigers! Since Easter is around the corner, we chose a book about a white bunny named Marshmallow. And the story and the pictures are by Claire Turley Newberry. So let's see about this bunny Marshmallow. Oliver was a gray cat with tabby markings who lived in an apartment. Many a cat has to catch his dinner before he can eat it, but Oliver was lucky. When he was hungry, all he had to do was mention the fact to Miss Tilly, and she would open the refrigerator and get out his liver and chopped beef. As Oliver never went out, he did not know the world was full of animals. The only mice in his life were gray flannel ones filled with catnip, and the nearest thing to a rabbit he had ever seen was a stuffed, plush Easter bunny. Life, however, cannot always be like that. One day, Miss Tilly called him from the kitchen. "Meow," replied Oliver as he hurried over, expecting to find his dinner. Instead, Miss Tilly was smiling at something she held in her two cupped hands. It was a small and white and furry bunny. "What do you think of this, Oliver?" she said. "Its name is Marshmallow." She held the furry thing to her cheek for a moment, and then she set it on the floor. It has tall ears, pink eyes, a wiggly nose, and twitchy little whiskers. And it was alive. Oliver was appalled. He took one wild look at the creature and then squinched his eyes shut. "Oh, Oliver, what's the matter with you? Don't tell me you're afraid of a little bunny." But Oliver was afraid. He was too frightened to even run away. He just crouched in the corner. As for Marshmallow, he was a very unhappy little bunny. All he wanted was to be at home with his mother again. If he had been a kitten, he would have meowed. If he had been a puppy, he would have howled. If he had been a baby, he would have cried his eyes out. But being a bunny, he just sat there and felt sad. However, Marshmallow cheered up a bit when he had his dinner. A bowl that said dog on it, for the shop didn't have any dishes with a rabbit or a bunny on them. But Marshmallow didn't mind. He ate the green carrot top first, for he was thirsty, and then he munched on part of the carrot, and he had rolled oats, eating them with a nibble, crunch, crunch. That night, Marshmallow fell asleep in the bathroom on a bed made out of a folded towel. He was not the same as having a soft mother to cuddle against. Still, he did not cry. He was a little lonely, but that's it. Nor did he howl for his breakfast in the morning. "If you were nice and quiet like that, Oliver," yawned Miss Tilly when Oliver woke with his frantic scratching and meowings at the bedroom door. Miss Tilly warmed some chopped beef for him, gave Marshmallow another carrot, and made herself some coffee and toast. And then she sat down on her typewriter and wrote a little poem. "A bunny is a quiet pet. A bunny is the best thing yet. A bunny never makes a sound. A bunny's nice to have around." That morning, Oliver felt much braver. He hardly squinched his eyes at all when he looked at the bunny. Marshmallow, however, was like a tiny little baby that scarcely noticed what went on. He ate when he was hungry, and the rest of the time he slept with his paws tucked under them to keep him warm. Soon, Marshmallow became lopping around the apartment, sniffing things and tasting them, and nearly everything seemed to taste pretty good. He nibbled on the rugs, working very hard in one place until he gnawed a little bare spot before moving on. Miss Tilly was surprised to find that he had nibbled so many things besides carrots. She wrote another poem on her typewriter called "Warning to Rabbit Lovers." "A bunny nibbles all day long. A bunny doesn't think it's wrong. He nibbles mittens, mufflers, mops. He only pauses when he hops. He nibbles curtains, lamp cords, and shoes. He only stops to take a snooze." One afternoon, Miss Tilly stayed out later than usual. When Oliver woke up from a nap, there was no dinner waiting for him, so he trotted to the other door and said, "Meow." There was no answer, but he could hear odd sounds in the next room, small scuffling noises that caused his eyes to widen, his ears to point suddenly forward. These sounds were made by Marshmallow's little feet as he went lippity-lippity around the room. Marshmallow had discovered Miss Tilly's old plush Easter bunny and thoroughly nibbled its whiskers. Now he was just frolicking around the room and kicking up his heels for sheer joy of being alive. And Oliver was listening and sniffing when his eyes grew bigger and bigger. "Meow," he said, and he scratched impatiently at the door. When this did no good, he stood up on his hind legs and patted the doorknob. Finally, he reached up both forepaws, and with one on each side of the knob, he worked its way. And there was a small click. The door opened, and Oliver padded silently to the next room, and there was the rabbit, skipping around if he didn't have a care in the world. He would dash several feet in one direction and suddenly spring into the other direction. Oliver watched with great interest, and each time the little rabbit whisked by, he lashed his tail and got ready to spring, but somehow he couldn't do it. Perhaps he remembered that Miss Tilly had told him not to hurt the bunny, or perhaps he was still just a little bit afraid. Suddenly, Marshmallow sat up tall and stared at the cat, his soft nose twitching rapidly. He looked most inquisitively, but not the least bit alarmed. What was this great striped animal, he wondered? Could it possibly be his mother in a new coat? And while Oliver hesitated, trying to make up his mind to pounce, all at once Marshmallow scampered joyfully up to him and kissed him on the nose. Marshmallow shut his eyes and snuggled close, blissfully happy to have found another furry animal. Even when Oliver opened his jaws and took hold of him with teeth, Marshmallow was not afraid. For the next moment, Oliver was licking his face as tenderly as any mother cat with her kitten. And like any mother cat, he licked the fur in the wrong direction so it stood on the end that looked all messed up. Look at them, they've become friends, the bunny and Oliver. After that, Miss Tilly let them play together every day, for she saw they were friends. They romped like two kittens, and wherever the cat went, Marshmallow followed, lippity-lippity right at his heels. And whenever Oliver lay down to take a nap, the bunny cuddled up close to him. Oliver forgot that he had ever thought of Marshmallow as a strange animal to be pounced upon. He adopted the little bunny and brought him up as his own kitten. And although Oliver never said so, I cannot help thinking that in time he came to agree with Miss Tilly that a bunny is a delightful habit. No home's complete without a rabbit. Isn't that a nice story about the friendship between the cat and the bunny? I love that Easter story. Hope you guys have a happy Easter. See you soon.